Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be doing our daily transparency update, as always. So if you're new here, that just includes me talking about my portfolio and my gains and losses for every single stock market day. And with that, we almost always go into some in-depth discussion on Tesla stock, considering the fact that it is the only stock that I own currently. It takes up 100% of my portfolio currently, not only just in Robinhood, but in my Roth IRA account as well. So as you all can tell, I am a very big Tesla bull. But before we get any further, if you all do enjoy these transparency updates, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. But just addressing this portfolio, as you can see, we currently have a value of $156,191.67. And for the normal market hours today, we got a minus 0.52% loss. That is minus $826.37. And then for the after hours, we are at minus 0.28%, and that is minus $437.49. So as you can see, currently combining both the normal market hours and the after hours, Tesla stock is at minus 0.78%. So we did have a pretty crazy day for this stock, I have to admit, because if you look at the portfolio, like I said, I own nothing but Tesla stock, so my portfolio pretty much represents Tesla as well. But as you can see, we started out in the negative at 9 a.m. in the pre-market at minus exactly 1%. That was around a $1,600 loss almost at that point in time. And then once we got to 9:30 a.m. when the normal market hours opened up, we got a minus 1.27% loss. That's around minus $2,000. It bounced back up to this point at 9:40 a.m. and then we dropped back down to this point at 9:55 a.m. That was a minus 2.14% loss. That's around minus $3,365. And then from that point on, that was actually the lowest point of the day. So it bounced back up to this point at around 10:15 a.m. Then we had a little bit of a downturn until this point at 10:40 a.m. And then we pretty much got a surge with some volatility here and there up until this point at 12:15 p.m. And then we had a little bit of volatility in the meantime with this peak at plus 1.41%. That was the highest point of the day at around $2,227 in gains. And then from that point on, after 2:10 p.m., we had pretty much a downturn until the after hours. And even that's continuing with the after hours right now where it's in the negative. So from this point at 2:10 p.m., we had the stock drop significantly. So we lost all of the progress that we got throughout the day. So that's why I try to emphasize in these videos that the short-term movements for Tesla just truly don't matter to me. I'm not really concerned with what's happening in the short term. This is a long-term investment in which I am planning to hold these shares for many, many years in the future. I'm talking 10 plus years, probably much longer than that, just because I want to leverage compound interest. And it's really difficult for me to see any company in the future that I would like to invest in over Tesla. I just think that Tesla is truly one of the most audacious companies at this point in time, at least. And so I love to see innovation happening in business, and I love to see companies and businesses being disrupted by new technology and simply just new business strategies as well. And that's something that Tesla is really efficient at, not only disrupting technology, but doing it in an efficient and optimized way where they utilize everything to its greatest extent. So as I said, Tesla is a long-term investment, and especially with days like today, I mean, this obviously isn't even a big drop or anything like that, but I just like to re-emphasize this point in every single portfolio update because I know that I get a lot of new viewers every now and then. And so I just like to emphasize that, and that not only applies to Tesla stock, but also pretty much every other stock in the stock market. When I invest, it's most likely going to be a long-term investment unless I see an absolutely huge opportunity in the short term, and even then that's still pretty risky. So I'm a big long-term investor, so any stock that I'm looking for, basically even in a matter of what happens over the next year, is really not going to matter for me in terms of the share price for Tesla. Yes, I can get excited about it if we see a big surge for Tesla again, but if it drops, all I'm going to be thinking about is a purchasing opportunity for this stock. So it's really something where I don't really get concerned about the stock price in the short term. Even over the next 3 years or so, it wouldn't really concern me if we saw the stock go down from its current value right now, even farther 3 years from now, which I don't think is likely. Even Elon Musk himself said recently that he thinks the stock will be higher than it is currently in 5 years from now. So I honestly think this is one that will grow tremendously in the future, especially as as we start to see things fall into place, and especially once we start to see the people from Wall Street start to understand Tesla a little bit better. And I think that's one of the main reasons why there's such a big gap between retail investors and Wall Street. You have a huge gap between the mindset of specific retail investors and then also specific institutional investors and just the big investors on Wall Street. So there's a big knowledge gap, and I think Cathie Wood did a fantastic job recently noting why a lot of traditional auto analysts cannot understand Tesla and just don't get the potential in this company at the current moment. And that's something that was really emphasized by ARK Invest's Cathie Wood on Twitter recently. She posted a complete thread about it all. I would definitely recommend checking out my most recent news video where I covered that. It's the video before this one, but she did a fantastic job of explaining why some people just don't get it and why some of the people that are actually trained to analyze companies and that's their actual job, why they don't even get it when you have some retail investors like myself and a lot of you all that understand this. And so it's just a little bit strange, I guess you would say, to see this happening in the market where you have some people where their profession is actually analyzing these companies and they're saying that Tesla is basically not even worth its current share price. And that is because they're taking on a short-term perspective. And this goes back to what we were recently just talking about with my long-term perspective on investing. And so like I've mentioned previously, with Tesla stock, it's all about the long-term perspective. So if you have an investor or an analyst that is simply just taking on a short-term perspective when it comes to Tesla stock, obviously they're going to say that it's overvalued. I mean, even I could admit currently that if we are judging the company based on what it's currently worth and what it offers to the table, we all understand that Tesla is expensive for where it's at currently, but that's not the point of us investing in Tesla stock. The point of us investing in Tesla stock, and especially buying it at these price tags right now, is because we think it will be worth a lot more in the long term. And so it's a lot harder for some of these analysts to look farther into the future, 10 plus years, 20 plus years, to try to see where Tesla's at. And it's actually, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, it's really not that difficult if you just do some research, listen to what Tesla themselves actually have to say and what Elon Musk is saying, look at their past plans where they had part one of their plan that they accomplished and now they're working on part two, and judge for yourself. Have they accomplished what they said they would accomplish in part one? And are we going to reference that track record of part one for part two when we take these things into consideration? So I think at this point, as I've mentioned, there's really just no excuse to not understand Tesla and what is likely going to be inevitable for this company in the future. All it takes is some research and an open mind, and that's what these analysts are trained to do. So as I've said, there's really no excuse for a lot of these auto analysts to not understand it. Well, I guess you could say since they are traditional auto analysts, they're not really trained in robotics and autonomy and machine learning and things like that. However, that's why people are hired based on skill sets. So we're seeing a big transition from the old way of transportation when it comes to vehicles to the new way. And so this transition to EVs is very different from just the aspect of renewable energy. It's much more than just Tesla using electric energy to power itself. It's a lot more than that. There's a software aspect, there's an autonomy aspect, and that's just from Tesla, where they simply decided that, okay, we're going to offer something here, but instead of it just simply being a new way of transportation in terms of the energy utilized, we're also going to be offering a lot more to the table because we can do so now, and because nobody else is doing this, so we might as well advance the transition to sustainable energy much faster by offering a product with all of these bells and whistles that all of these internal combustion engine vehicles and even all of these other less efficient EVs that are not offering these things. So that's truly where Tesla has an advantage, and you have a lot of traditional auto analysts that are not used to actually analyzing these things, and that was the point that Cathie Wood from ARK Invest just nailed right on the head on Twitter. And so I love that talking point on Twitter because it's a great explanation of why we see such a distance between the perspectives on Tesla from specific retail investors, and then also you have some specific investors from Wall Street and institutional investors that are thinking much differently than some of us are. And yes, there are still a lot of retail investors that totally don't get Tesla, and that's the point where I see some opportunity. Until I start to see Tesla treated like Apple or Amazon or Microsoft or some of these other companies that are very well known for their good reputation, then I'm going to see this as an opportunity and take advantage of it in the market, because as we all know, there's still a lot of Tesla bears, and they like to come out of the woodworks on the red days, especially on the days where we had a minus 20% drop, a minus 12% drop. They like to come out of nowhere only when they can prove that they're right. Whereas with us Tesla bulls, we know that in the long term, it's going to take time for our points to be proven correct. But still, even up to this point, we have been correct on Tesla, and the track track record with the stock chart just proves that. So as you can see, for the last year, it's up over 700%. So we're starting to see this realization happen among a lot of retail investors. Some institutional investors and major companies with analysts are starting to understand Tesla. But like I said, until I see this company and stock treated as if it's Amazon or Apple or some of these other companies with really good reputations, then I'm going to consider that as an opportunity and continue to buy as usual. So I'm completely okay if Wall Street or even some retail investors continue to misunderstand Tesla. That just means that it gives me more time to come up with some cash to buy more Tesla stock, and I'm honestly okay with that because that gives me more of a time frame for this opportunity. But like I said, there's nothing crazy about today at all. This is really as typical as your stock market day gets, at least for Tesla. This is actually kind of unusual that it's only down 0.43% for a red day. So I'm actually thankful that it's not down that much, but regardless, as you all know, it could be down 12% or 20%. It doesn't really matter for me because I'm in it for the long term. And the share price many years from now is what's going to matter, unless I'm simply just looking for a buying opportunity in the short term. But anyways, just to go ahead and address the numbers for today, as you all can see, we have a minus 0.33% loss. That is minus $523.49. And then for the total return, we are at plus 42.32%, which is plus $46,677.63. So like I said, for a red day, and especially for a red day for Tesla, this is truly not that bad of a day. And a lot of this may simply be due to the fact that we have NASDAQ and VOO being down in the red. We had NASDAQ take a huge drop at around 2:30 p.m. It dropped all the way down to minus 5.21%. And that's pretty notable considering the fact that before that drop, it was probably up around 26-25% for the past year. So that's a pretty big drop when you put it into perspective for the whole year. But anyways, I just wanted to share this video with you all, just to explain some of my thought processes behind Tesla stock and how I'm viewing this stock currently in comparison to some of the institutional investor reactions and things like that. But please make sure to smash that like button if you all enjoyed the video, and also feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, you can get one free stock valued up to $1,600, and all you have to do is sign up with my referral link and deposit $100 into your account. Keep in mind, you can take that $100 right back out after you get your free stock, so it's basically just nice passive income with minimal effort, and it also supports the channel as well when you use my link because I'll get some free stocks as well. So anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.